We're back for another episode of Chrysalis Collective, the podcast. I'm Alexis Ramirez.
I am Savannah Taylor.
And today we are just chatting about all of the beautiful offerings that we have created and expanded and are bringing to spaces privately, to group spaces, to individuals. We have so much that we've just grown, like from our original just full moon circle and us feeling very called to wanting to create a space like that for community, for people to connect with their wombs and heal in community, essentially, right? Expanding that into all of the beautiful offerings that we're now rolling with.
Yeah, all the work we're doing and what it means for us, what it means for you, and where you might find yourself fitting into it all. So let's see. I will start by saying that this episode feels like it's coming at a really like the right, most perfect time because I knew you and met you when I was working part-time for a small business doing not like birth or it was motherhood related wellness work, and had put a lot of myself into this job, and this job pulled the rug out from under me and laid off everybody that had been working there literally the day after giving out salaries and raises, and it was like just such a blow. And then I was freaking out because I had been putting so much into that work that I hadn't been investing in my birth and postpartum like my full spectrum work the way that I had wanted to. I hadn't developed my practice enough. And so I was like, well, shoot, I really need to figure something else out. Because I had got these kids, man, I have to feed them. And so started working part-time for a business nonprofit that very, very quickly turned out to
not your jam, not your vibe.
I did such a bad job. Bad job. Oh man, what did you say about me? You're like, oh, at least they can't even pay you to care.
Yeah, they can't even pay you to care,
They could not even pay me to care. But anyway, I quit that job to be here for Chrysalis Collective and for the work that we're doing because I so fully believe in you and believe in this path for us. And so I just want our listeners to know that we are fully committed to this line of work and the revolution that is taking place within ourselves. And I don't think either of us really thought when we started our moon circles, I know I didn't know what I was actually going to create, what was actually going to be there, but just being so blown away by the energy of those spaces and the people that come to us and the reception that we've gotten for this work.
Yeah, I just love that we answered the call. Savannah and I, when we first met, just in talking to each other, we're like, we have something.
It's a feeling.
There's just a feeling that, things are heading in the right direction, and I'm not sure exactly what that looks like, but we know that we want our practices to evolve, and we need them to evolve in a way, but we're not sure what way that is. And it started just from a genuine friendship and getting to know each other and realizing oh, you're my people. You are on the same path that I'm on, and knowing that we have the same passion and we share a purpose together. I think about the fact that there are so many people, and there's been points in my life where I've been in a space where I'm not sure exactly what I'm supposed to do, but like I think that it's this, and like now knowing that no, like my purpose, my vision for my future is so clear, and at a point in time I didn't feel that way, and like knowing that we share that vision together makes me go that much harder for what we do. Like I'm literally at random coffee shops, people are like, I'm like, yeah, I have a podcast. I'm just like, me and my friend Savannah, like I'm always talking about Savannah because it's just so innate and it pours out of us that this is what we're supposed to be doing, creating these spaces, talking about these things, being an example. Like I'm okay to make myself an example, to share and be vulnerable in this way, because I know that these spaces are so needed. And throughout our friendship together, I've always touched on, I want to do this and I want to do that and I want to do this, and like now we get to actually do that together, and how beautiful it is to have a work wife and a partner in this way. Like that, I know it's such a blessing. So that's why it makes it so much more fulfilling for us to come to these spaces with other people and create these experiences and opportunities for other people to connect to themselves in the way that we know creates such a deep rooted amplification of love and of self.
Yeah, and I mean, we're just moving with the spirit, like we don't have it all figured out. And when you're talking about like being an example, like to me, I hear like an example of vulnerability.
Exactly.
And an example of being like, yep, I'm gonna sit down here every week and I'm gonna share with you the deepest parts of myself and how I have walked through it and connected to my body and my heart and soul in this way, because I know you're probably out there feeling a similar way and not wanting anybody to feel alone in their path anymore. And so we have a lot, that we have cultivated here, and more is going to surely come. Like it seems like every cycle, every moon, like every moon cycle, the every moon cycle. I just said little pancake, but if you're not watching on YouTube, there's a pancake squishmallow on my couch. That's why.
I've been using it as a pillow.
But like just so much more is revealed. Like I get downloads and you get downloads, and we just are trying to put them all into motion. But right now we have cultivated a few different regular offerings. So we're just going to talk a little bit about those and what you can expect from us here. So obviously we've talked about our moon circles. These are regular gatherings. We have been doing full moon circles. We're going to expand into new moon circles as well. And those will take on a different energy because they are a different fate, a different energy themselves.
Yeah, exactly. The new moon is very much centered around release and surrender and loss and grief, because the moon is void, and so it illuminates that shadowy, darker side of life and of the energy that we hold. And our full moon circles amplify what we're wanting to illuminate and feel the fullness of and call towards us. And I think it's beautiful that we're able to hold space for both, because it's not always full and light and airy. Exactly.
Yeah, sometimes you need to sit in the darkness, and people deserve a space to be able to come with their darkness and to hear, like, I'm not trying to make everything okay. I'm okay with it not being okay right now. And so that's what the moon circles, are designed to do. And after our Empowered Period workshop, we are going to begin 2 really exciting community offerings. So we're going to host a inclusive parenting support group, and then a teen specific pregnancy and parenting support group. So if you are a teen parent or a pregnant teen, this will be the space for you to have your, journey into parenthood honored, your pregnancy honored. This is something that's really been on my heart. I was 19 going on 20 when I got pregnant, so older, but still a baby, becoming a mother. And so, wanting to take my experience of, number one, just going from childhood immediately into motherhood, and what that did to me, and knowing how difficult that is, and allowing other people to come in and sit in a place where they are celebrated.
Being honored, not judged, not chastised, not coerced or coaxed into any certain way of looking at themselves or being or parenting. Like, you are perfect exactly the way that you are showing up to parenthood, and there shouldn't be any space for judgment in that. And with our queer parenting support circle, and just in general parenting support circle postpartum as well, we're kind of putting that all together because everybody needs a space. Postpartum, some people, it's forever, right? Like, postpartum is so much more than if you are the parent that births, you also go through the postpartum period. Like, it's so much more than our traditional models of support that we've seen. So we have that space as something that is open and really just sees families as families, period.
You don't have to, your family doesn't have to look a certain way, respective of families that have one parent, two parents, three parents, like, it's okay. You come as you are. We're here with you in that. This is, not a, like you said, this isn't just like a first 6 weeks postpartum group. This is a parenting group. And so you can be 1 week into parenthood, or you can be 10 years into parenthood. Come and bring your wisdom and share. We'll have more details on location and dates with you. So just make sure to be on our Instagram so that you can know, keep up with where we'll be. We'll share information on Instagram that way. And then we are also making shifts in our practice models.
Yes, we are. And I feel like it is so natural for us to do so, because we have come to the beautiful realization that we're so much stronger together. Like, it's so obvious that having community besides just one person, true community with multiple people supporting you, is a wonderful way to have that show up in your experience into parenthood.
Yes. So I just was feeling like, okay, I was like, I'm scared to ask Alexis if she's ready for this. Like, I don't want to push her, but like, it's probably going to need to happen eventually. And so if we're not ready yet, that's okay. But just like big picture wise, like, how do we want to serve people? And the reality of birth work, postpartum work, loss work, any of these types of support roles is they're very draining. They take so much out of you. I'm obviously so grateful for the work that I do and being able to be in those spaces, but there are times where I am so tired and so exhausted, and I'm like, I'm giving everything I have for somebody else. Like, I'm getting paid for it, and that's wonderful, but like, emotionally, the energy that it takes from you is you will burn out
Yeah.
so fast if you don't have a grounded sense of self and a support system.
Exactly.
And it also can be challenging to make a living that way. Like, just, if you're a birth,
trying to do it on your own.
If you're a birth worker or, a doula of any kind here, like you probably know, how hard it is to establish a practice and to create referral networks and to create all of your systems. And there are workers out there who have been doing this for 15, 20 years, but they're pretty few and far between, honestly.
Yeah.
I think
They're
that
the exception.
they are very, very much the exception. But this type of work is we don't have a choice, is how I feel. Like, we have to be doing this. Exactly. Otherwise,
I don't know what I would do with myself. I wouldn't be happy any other way. Yes, it is exhausting, and yes, it takes so much of us energetically. I think nobody really talks about the energetic toll, that it does take to be in such vulnerable, sacred spaces with people, and
up all night.
Exactly. Yeah. Doing care in such an extensive and expansive way and in such a present way takes a lot from an individual. So us doing it together just makes so much more sense.
Yeah. So, we are here for birth and postpartum and the whole spectrum of loss work, because it all relates to the womb. As well as I am a certified lactation counselor, and my practice philosophy is very holistic. My lactation work focuses heavily on the microbiome of the dyad, so specifically maternal and infant gut health, as well as alternative ways of feeding your baby that is not just, triple feeding, bottle feeding. If breastfeeding, chest feeding isn't working, there are different options. So I take a pretty holistic approach to my lactation, and will be providing lactation support through Chrysalis Collective. And then we are also offering our womb wellness consultations, womb wellness experiences.
Virtually as well as in person, whether it's individual or a group session. It's something that we're able to facilitate and tailor to the specific needs of whatever stage of the journey you find yourself in.
Right. So, working with people from first periods all the way through the end of life, and honoring the womb at the end of life, that's something that I'm really excited to, begin to dive into more. And so definitely be, watching us for more content about that. And then, we do ceremonies, group ceremonies, private ceremonies, as well as just consulting. It very much peer-based support, but taking our experience and knowledge. Neither of us, I think we've intentionally, purposefully, strayed from, we're not out here trying to be anybody's doctor or teacher or healer or anything like that. I think the work that we do and the spaces we create do offer a lot of healing, but neither of us are in any way, shape, or form trying to heal you. We are just trying to open up the space to allow healing itself to flow through. And so when you work with us, you are in control.
You are your own healer.
You are the healer. Yeah, exactly.
We're just allowing access to that healing in a way that is a perspective shift. A lot of times that's exactly what it is. It's an expansion. It's a an opportunity to get to know yourself deeper, because you have everything you need within you at any given time. It's just whether or not your perspective is seeing it, right?
Yeah.
So we just be like,
Help
do
you
a
tap
little,
in.
do a little nudge.
Exactly. And then just be a completely non-judgmental space for your story and for holding that space. And so whether you book us for birth support, postpartum support, pregnancy release support, or you are someone who is just looking to connect with your womb, you are getting off birth control, you're still on birth control, you have difficult periods, PCOS, fibroids, endometriosis, anything like that is, creating disconnect in your womb, we are here to walk alongside with you. And our care is very much tailored to your own needs and where you are in your own journey. So we will never tell you, here's step one, because your step one is going to look different, than somebody else's, and that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, I'm just thinking back on, you have all the answers. We're just helping create the stream to flow with them.
Absolutely. Yes, and so, we want to just use this episode as a space to talk a little bit about why we're doing the work that we're doing, and how you can connect with us. And so be sure to follow us on social media. We're
on Instagram at _Chrysalis_Collective. You can also find us on TikTok at _Chrysalis Collective. No second underscore on that one. And DM us.
Tell your friends.
Yeah.
Yes.
Come to a full moon circle. Just tap in.
Yeah, absolutely. We want to connect with you, and if you have stories to share, we would love to hear your stories. We would love to hold space for your stories. If you're interested in collaborating with us, you can email us at info@chrysaliscollective.me. You can DM us on Instagram. And then, let's see, I feel like there was one more thing I was going to say, but I don't remember it. That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
It will come, and if you keep up with us on Instagram,
it'll come.
Savannah will let you know.
It'll come.
Exactly.
You'll be up to date. Just hit follow. Oh, I was gonna tell you, subscribe to our podcast.
Oh, and you can find us on YouTube.
You can find us on YouTube. Leave a review. Rate our podcast. All of this helps us out. We are not bougie podcasters. We don't have sponsorship. I edit the podcast and I send you voice memos when I'm angry at editing the podcast. But all of that to say that we're here, we're doing it, we're showing up, we're not trying to be anything that we're not. And we are so grateful for your embrace and your acceptance and your trust in us.
Yeah, thank you for listening. If you made it this far and want to connect with us on Instagram, send us a little butterfly emoji, then we'll know. We'll know you made it this far.
That'll be the sign.
Yeah, and then you'll get some fucking brownie points, bro. And maybe something else. You never know.
You never know. All right, well, until next time, I'm Savannah Taylor.
And I'm Alexis Jarnitas.
We are the Chrysalis Collective.
I can't fucking turn this off.